Hmm. Yeah, I don't think we'll have time for Go Home Annie. We might just skip into Fragmented Minds. We'll see, though. Anything new on these, or are these all the same? These are all the same. Files. New mission report. Nice. Huh. All right, we got some interesting things here. All right, Appendix 421-2012. Object is an irregular clay plot with a height of 23 centimeters and diameter of 28 centimeters, but do not be fooled by its appearance. It is an organism, a womb. Yes, an earthen womb. SCP-660 may be safely stored in a standard safe deposit box provided its mouth remains covered with a inert perspex disc and sealed with tamper-proof tape. Log of tests involving human experimentation with SCP-660. Lab report 660A, sample condition, skin flap harvest from the right or left thigh of the cadaver of D612. Donor was healthy in all respects prior to death. Sample use. Tissue sample left in SCP-660 for 2 months duration. Result. Daily biopsies indicate viability of samples. Cell samples taken from tissue graft are cultured in vitro, revealing a predisposition towards precancerous and cancerous growth. Report 660B. Return with chicken. Everyone's coming with food, and I have none. Well, this is the perfect time to bring food, by the way. We're talking about all sorts of fun, appetizing things. Lab report 660B, sample condition, skin flap harvested from left thigh of the cadaver 612. Sample used tissue sample left in 660 for 2 months duration, then grafted into the torso of D-class personnel with second and third degree burns. The recipient's anomaly testing record had no contradictions, I assume, with SCP-660. Result: tissue graft takes without complication, healing according to usual steps of adherence, serum inhibition, and revascularization. However, it is common with severe burn cases. The compromised skin barrier led to infection and eventual fatal septic shock. Postmortem biopsy analysis indicates skin graft would have returned to full histological structure and function had the recipient survived. Report 660C, same condition, live member of Musculus, house mouse, BALB-C strain acquired for laboratory testing. By use of SCP redacted, the consciousness of D614 was implanted into the specimen. D614 was chosen for this demonstrated resistance to the negative effects of prolonged isolation and sensory deprivation. Sample specimen left in 660 for 2 months duration. Result: unusually, SCP redacted was incapable of restoring D614's consciousness to its original body after removal from SCP-660. Computer interface was developed to facilitate two-way communication with D614. An interview was conducted once D614 was familiarized with this interface. An excerpt is included before. Dr. Brown, I guess I'll have to take your word for it. And how did that feel? D614, suffocating and stretching. Dr. Brown, could you be more specific? D614. How do you think I felt? Even mites need to grow and move and live. Every part of me was straining, but I was stuck. I thought I would explode. Full contents of interview are classified and not thus to reveal precancerous growth throughout the mouse's body. Lab report 660D, sample condition, right arm loss and traumatic amputation just beneath the elbows. Sample use, D778 was severely injured in an incident involving SCP redacted. Lost limb recovered as part of cleanup operation. Subject would not have survived immediate reattachment surgery due to other injuries involving severe vascular compromise, severe severed extremity preserved in SCP-660 and bid to preserve tissue viability. Result: right arm successfully reattached to previous owner. Subject reports return of sensation figures of right hand. Contrary to poor prognosis due to severe tissue avulsion and nerve damage sustained in initial injury. Biopsy reveals little to no precancerous cell growth. Transplant ruled a tentative success. D778 has been retained for further observation. Addendum: human testing with SCP-660 is suspended due to the sudden death of D778 from teratoma with malignant transformation. I've seen fetus in vitro before, but never have I had one try to grab my probe during an autopsy. Dr. Grayson, Appendix 7, July 30th, 2012. As of today, SCP-660-1 has been neutralized. SCP-660 no longer exhibits any other forms of shapes. It has been classified as safe by Foundation. Research on SCP-660-1 will be transferred to Reliquary Research Institute. Details available to personnel with clearance 4-660. And brown sugar pineapple. Ooh. Okay. Time to archive. Oh, we didn't even have this information. SCP-660 is an irregular earthenware urn, roughly 20 centimeters in height and 28 centimeters in diameter, with an opening 20 centimeters in diameter. The composition of SCP-660 is consistent with generic earthenware clays. The interior of SCP-660 is coated with dried mammalian uterine tissue, similar to human endometrial lining. DNA testing is inconclusive. SCP-660 is capable of indefinitely preserving all biological tissue placed within it, regardless of external conditions or the state of the sample, until the tissues are removed. Living tissue will remain viable, and living organisms will remain alive, even when deprived of sustenance for extended periods of time. While the exact mechanism responsible for this is uncertain, isotopic sampling has shown that it involves the exchange of biological matter between the sample and SCP-660's interior coating. Cell cultures from the tissues preserved in SCP-660 retain an abnormally high rate of cell replication. Several samples have tested positive for precancerous markers in smear tests. SCP-660-1 was the human fetus originally found in SCP-660, most likely having been sealed in the artifact for at least 6,600 years. However, SCP-660-1 immediately underwent massive transformation upon removal, additionally developing several consistent with anthropogenic progression. SCP-660-1 was most likely neutralized. Details are available to personnel with clearance for -660. Recovery of SCP-660 was originally recovered from an archaeological dig in where it was found in purported grave site among a number of other mundane artifacts. A beeswax seal covering the mouth of SCP-660 was dislodged during the excavation process, revealing SCP-660-1, data expunged, after which the site was secured by Foundation. The notes of Dr. presumed deceased, enabled the isolation of SCP-660 from the rest of the artifacts. Okay. Is that everything I need to put in there? One thing. Yeah. Gotcha. Oh, a new one. Oh, yeah, y'all. Addendum. Okay. 143-1, the trees were grown on site from samplings obtained from parent plants located in Nara Prefecture, Japan. In 1905, the parent trees were owned by the family of traditional swordsmiths, claiming to be descended from the legendary swordmaker named Amakuni. They referred to the original trees as Jinko no Kodachi, or the blade wood grove. It is from that the Foundation gained the techniques to cut and work the wood and petals into serviceable items. The original trees are still in Japan, owned by government and still tended by the same family. However, the government has denied all existence of the trees, and any products made from them are kept within the country. Addendum 143-2. SCP-143 is to be watered twice every day on a regular basis via a large sprinkler system unless already watered by local precipitation. Personnel are not allowed to enter the enclosure without level 4 administrative clearance, and are not advised not to touch any of the SCP-143, nor stand beneath them unless wearing proper protective gear. It's important that no one be within the containment area when SCP-143 begins to shed. However, if the shedding has concluded, the condition of the fallen petals for testing purposes has been authorized by the project director. See SCP-143 testing log. Document 143-A, we lost 3 staff to 143 today. They were collecting petals dropped by the trees the previous day when a sudden gust picked up, shaking a good deal of petals from the trees and blowing them around. Stayed that windy for a whole day. I'd send a cleaned up crew, but it's still pretty windy and the odd petal is still falling. We all have to pick up the remains when the wind dies down in a couple days. SCP-143 testing logs. Appendix 143-DO-0. Hardness test, 5,000 HB on the Brinell scale. I don't know what HB is. Appendix 143-D-1. Standing temperatures of up to 1,800 degrees Celsius. Appendix 143-D2. The weight to strength ratio surpasses even that of titanium, being some 15% lighter than aluminum. Both are notoriously difficult to work due to their properties. Appendix 143-D11. Under high temperatures, upwards of 1,500 degrees Celsius, separate pieces are capable of being fused together. Okay. We're reading a lot of reports today until the next case, I guess. Item number SCP-143, object class Euclid, special containment procedures. SCP-143 is to be contained in a valley adjacent to the Bioresearch Area 12, an area over 2 kilometers squared. Area surrounding SCP-143 for up to 20 kilometers, and all lines of sight from the surrounding hilltops are to be denied public access. Description. SCP-143 is a plantation of 300 specimens of a unique type of tree. The trees are similar in appearance to Prunus x Dionis, Japanese sakura, or cherry blossoms. They bear no fruit, and only known way of reproduction is by careful own root propagation using cut saplings from an older sample. Petals are a light pinkish color, slight translucent, and with a texture of smooth glass. Care must be taken when handling the petals, as their edges are razor sharp and can easily slice through flesh if mishandled. Lovely. I should collect petals and build an ultralight out of them. Yeah. We'll see. Okay, that fills that bit out. We have our addendum. SCP there's water twice every day. Gotcha. And then testing logs. National man celebration, but on scale. Yes. Okay. Another one. Okay. A lot of reading. This is fine. I'm down for this. We've done what, 2 stories out of like 5 or 6 in the game? This might go longer than I thought. I don't know if there's a way to save either. So, log of items vended during testing phase 8. 800 yen entered for each item. Items being dispensed every 2 minutes. SCP-261 is attached to power. Notes: SCP-261 safety regulation stipulates that SCP-261 may be used a maximum of 10 times per 24-hour period and with no transaction value exceeding the equivalent of 500 Japanese yen. However, in view of the necessity of this experiment, the Foundation has approved Dr. Blank's or redacted request to use SCP-261 at high frequency. Coke Zero, a can of Diet Coke packaging in English. Cheetos, a small bag of Cheetos snack food packaging in English. Black Bag, or Black, a single pack of caffeinated chewing gum packaging in Japan. Yan, single yan cone with peach dipping frosting packaging in Japanese. The Meiji Seika company does not produce this flavor. Pepsi Dragon Twist, a can of Pepsi Cola with a trace of fruit flavor packaged in English, flavor identified as dragon fruit. PepsiCo does not produce this product. Dark Side Cola, a can with clear plastic-sized packaging in Japanese. Liquids inside is clear. When opened, liquid appears to react to the air and changes a dark black over a period of several seconds. The black coloration looks like billowing smoke and cannot be reversed. Liquid's taste described as cola with something spicy in it. The Little Bakery, 7 grain, a small tube is the size of a candy bar with a green button made of aluminum packaging in English. When the top is twisted off, a mass of dough is extruded. Dough contains several enzymes and bacteria that have not yet been identified on contact with air. These cause the dough to rise and bake, killing the microbes in the process. Produces a small round loaf of bread weighing 250 grams. Tastes incredible. Described as good but chewy. Lemon clams. That can't be good. Thick plastic baggie with a plastic tube on the side containing water and 12 clams packaging in Dutch. Following all package instructions, the plastic tube was cracked like a glow stick. Liquid in the bag flashed to steam venting from the hole that popped open on the top of the bag, slightly burning one researcher. Steaming finished after 38 seconds, after which clams were found to be fully cooked and infused with a mild lemon flavor. On investigation, clams matched no recorded species. Diet Ghost. Oh, careful there. We're getting into another SCP. A can containing an instance of SCP-2107. Yep. Packaging was in English. Testing done on this instance provided similar results to other contained instances of SCP-2107. This marks the first time SCP-261 has vended another SCP object. Unknown. Small mesh bag filled with small multicolored pyramids, packaging in an unknown language. Pyramids found to be very hard and unpleasant tasting compared to chalk in taste and consistency. When placed in hot water, pyramids open and produce strings that quickly dissolve, coloring the water the same shade as the pyramid. Water had no additional taste, but testing revealed a sharp increase in minerals, carbohydrate, and protein content. With several minerals unidentified at the present time, this content was found to be consistent with the recommended daily intake of nutrients for adult humans. Researcher ingesting the water reported stomach cramps 2 hours later, but no other effects. Unknown. Aluminum box with a glass window on the side and a large round button on the top, packaging in an unknown language. Box is seamless and appears to be filled with small round animals covered in fur, each with 3 small paws and a single large eye. Pressing the button causes the inside of the box to rapidly become superheated, cooking the small animals alive. Muffled noises and scratching were heard for several seconds during the cooking process. After 1 minute, 30 seconds, the front panel opens and gives access to the now cooked animals. Professor Kane volunteered to eat the animals, with no other researchers willing to do so. Taste described as crunchy and very spicy with a small hint of beef. Hello. Welcome back. You did not find food. You have failed your mission, Isashi. Unknown. Tall, thin aluminum can packaging in an unknown language. Opening can cause a chemical reaction with the liquid inside the can. Liquid was apparently not intended for an oxygenated atmosphere and detonated violently, causing several injuries and killing 2 researchers. Testing discontinued and area cleared. Testing area observed to smell like citrus for days. Doctor redacted conclusion. It was either food or drinks, nothing else. How awful. Let's call it an end. I also need food. Okay. Object Class A, Special Containment Periods. Any access to SCP-261 must be approved by staff with Level 2 clearance, security clearance or higher. Any and all items dispensed by SCP-261 must be recorded, along with the amount of money entered and the amount of time elapsed between uses. Blank testing approved site by site command is not under these restrictions. Items dispensed by SCP-261 should be reviewed by site health and safety officials before consumption. Failure to do so releases the Foundation from any obligation regarding negative effects. Items deemed dangerous or useful to research will be confiscated by site security with financial compensation provided in proportion to money spent. Description: SCP-261 appears to be a large black vending machine with no front glass panel and a small keypad on the right side. SCP-261 was recovered in Yokohama, Japan. SCP-261 was brought to the Foundation's attention after investigation of an urban legend about a magic vending machine that has circulated in the internet. SCP-261 was found in the back alley behind a large shopping center, with a handwritten sign saying "out of order" and Japanese taped to it. SCP-261 has no marks or identification of any time, and no locals remember when or how it came to be in its current location. Blank. After a key was made and front door opened, no abnormal materials were found, and it was determined that SCP-261 has never actually contained any food or beverage items. The keypad, while connected to and operating correctly, does not activate any of the dispensing mechanisms. When money is placed into SCP-261 and a 3-digit number is entered on the keypad, SCP-261 will vend a random item. SCP-261 has not accepted any currency other than yen, with rejected currency being deposited in the coin return slot. It is unknown how these items appear. However, SCP-261 will not operate when the door is open or when recording devices are placed inside. The number entered on the keypad has no effect on the item vended, nor has any pattern been detected. Items are always some form of snack food and typically have bright, attention-grabbing packaging. SCP-261 is capable of operating with no external power supply, but operation in this state will cause unstable vending to occur much more quickly than normal. If SCP-261 is used several times in a short period of time and or large amounts of money are entered before an item is vended, SCP-261 will start to dispense bizarre items. While still food, their suitability in consumption is often non-existent. Okay. Start recording now. What did this add? Nothing of great note, it seems. And last but not least, okay. Full description. Submit. All tasks done. It's 5 minutes of 4 o'clock now. Just about ready. Yeah, you're not coming? Nah. So it might be an out day. Yeah, doesn't suit me. What are you talking about? Hi, Carl. We're going to attend a monthly lecture. Monthly lecture? Everyone loves a lecture. Oh, sorry, I must click on this. Each month, the Foundation invites someone famous to hold a lecture to share new knowledge and insights pertaining to SCP. For this month's lecture, they invited Dr. Trevor. He holds a high reputation within the Foundation. Okay, count me in. I'll send you the link to the monthly lecture in just a sec. The course you signed up for is about to begin. Please join the meeting in the training session. Damn Ants and Dragons, SCP-1762, and I, Daniel Trevor. Oh, this is gonna be a sad one, chat. Antimimetics from the... Oh. Here be dragons, chat. Here be dragons. Here be dragons. A very sad SCP. A very neat one. And a very long entry, too. But also really good.
There are many stories in this world. Some are read widely all over the world. Some are hidden in dust and known only by a handful of people. Today I'm going to tell you a story no one else has heard before. A real story of mystery and wonder and adventure. And then you too will become the guardian of this story. The story takes place in a world of long ago. The hero of our story is a little boy. His name is Daniel. One day, out of nowhere, Daniel got a serious case of chickenpox. It made him look like a strawberry.
Okay, we're doing
To make
children's
sure
books,
he
I guess,
didn't
today.
spread it to others, Mrs. Page, the principal, had him isolate in an attic. And so, in the attic he lived, all on his own.
Okay.
Mr. Daniel, while up here in this attic, you'll have plenty of time to practice your penny whistle. I hope you'll practice well and prepare for next month's art festival.
I hope they do this
But
SCP
Mrs.
justice.
Page,
It's such a
the
good
memory is
SCP.
so difficult.
Don't give up, boy. You don't give up before you fight.
Daniel was reluctant at first, but he trusted Mrs. Page, and he knew he should listen. And so he practiced the penny whistle.
Oh, I get to do this? Lovely. Alright. Oh, I was a little late on that one. Okay. A little... Okay. Did not do as well as I should have.
Suddenly, he heard some strange noises in the corner of the attic.
Huh? Who's there?
Daniel decided to go over and take a look.
Am I controlling things now? I am. Lore. Why is there redacted stuff in the children's attic?
It was a mousetrap, and there was a red origami paper dragon inside of it. Daniel carefully removed it. It was marvelous and beautiful. The only problem was part of its wing was damaged, but Daniel found a way to repair it. Daniel held the repaired paper dragon high up in the air, imagining that it soared over all the world below. He played and played with the paper dragon.
Wee! Woo!
Gotta love the voice
Dragon,
acting.
Soar!
In the warm afternoon sun, Daniel had to fight his eyelids just to keep them open.
Could it be? Or is this all just a dream?
The next day, with boredom and loneliness weighing him down, he began to fiddle with the old radio.
Our town is located in the plains, where earthquakes are not particularly common. Although there are 17 fault zones around us, they are all inactive.
A scrunched up ball of paper rolled over to his feet.
Where did this paper ball come from?
Just as Daniel went to pick it up, the ball suddenly came to life, and it rolled away. Daniel chased after it.
Ball is mine. No, you silly goose, get here.
Just as he was about to seize the rolling paper ball, suddenly, terrible sparks erupted from it. Before his very eyes, the paper ball began to grow, bigger and bigger. At that moment, a red figure suddenly appeared. The red figure quickly subdued the paper ball and threw it into a cardboard box.
If you guys don't
Daniel
know this
studied the
SCP,
red
then
figure carefully.
I understand your confusion.
It had a sticker on its fluttering wing. It was the paper dragon.
I wasn't dreaming. Thank you for saving me.
Daniel was grateful and very happy. He walked closer to the paper dragon, but the paper dragon seemed timid and afraid and backed away. Just then, Daniel had an idea. He took out his penny whistle and slowly played a tune.
Oh, I get to fail at this a second time. Love that.
The paper dragon enjoyed the sound very much. It began to move along with the rhythm, flipping up and down in the air. Soon the two were playing and dancing, just like old friends. The paper dragon traced out a beautiful arc in the air, communicating with Daniel in a unique way.
my cherished friend. After many long years, we finally meet again. Tell me, how has your family been? A great thank you for playing that music for me. You know how I love the beautiful rhythm of that instrument. But we ought to take precautions, as the room is not stable. Do you still remember how the room works? You're welcome to visit any time.
Tone Deaf Dragon enjoyed
The
themselves.
piece of paper then changed back into the shape of a paper dragon and flew into the cardboard box. The box closed shut, and a calm silence was restored to the attic. Daniel rushed to find a watercolor pen and marked the box with excitement in his fingertips.
Here be dragons.
Over the next few days, the paper dragon came out often to play with Daniel. During this time, Daniel introduced many of his friends to the paper dragon.
That cat's name is Mrs. Carter. Ever since I secretly fed her some fish for dinner, we've been good friends. That's Duke, Mrs. Jessica's pet. He doesn't like rainy days or Mrs. Carter. Only smoked sausages for his taste.
Mine too. Mine too.
And now, we are friends too. My name is Daniel. What's your name?
The paper dragon flapped its wings, as if it didn't understand him.
Well, since you like the sound of the penny whistle so much, why don't I just call you Penny? I'll keep practicing to make it sound better.
Daniel and Penny then played baseball together in the attic.
Let's play cat.
This only goes well, I imagine. Oh! Wait. Out the window. This is actually kind of neat. Did say this is an anthology series, so you're gonna get very different stories, different styles.
But
Hello,
just
Cora.
as they were in the middle of enjoying themselves, a violent shaking suddenly rose from the ground.
Yeah, I've been trying to do that.
The stubborn earthquake is back at it, folks, and it seems even stronger than last time.
At this moment, the box suddenly shot open, and thick clouds of smoke billowed out, followed by several paper balls. Penny attacked the paper balls without a moment's hesitation and promptly threw them back into the box. Penny then flew around in front of Daniel and rushed right back into the box. As the box closed, the earthquake stopped. Facing a friend's farewell without a formal goodbye, Daniel felt confused and lost. He moved the box to the center of the attic. Facing it, he practiced his penny whistle, day in and day out. As the days went by, Daniel's playing became smoother. One day, the box suddenly began to move.
Huh?
1, 2, 3, 4. This time there were 4 paper dragons. But they weren't alone. Enemies began to jump out of the box too.
Earthquake! Another earthquake! This time it's reached a magnitude of 5.8!
In that small attic, The 4 paper dragons fought fiercely against the paper balls. This time, the paper balls used new tactics. They clumped together into a single monstrous ball of paper. It began to shoot strong bursts of electric sparks at the paper dragons as they flew through the air. As they were hit, the paper dragons fell from the air, one after the other. Seeing the injured paper dragons, Daniel felt very distressed and anxious. Just then, one of the paper dragons painfully started to fly and gathered the remainder of its power. The paper dragon transformed into a great beam of light and dove straight down to pierce through the monstrous paper ball. And then came another paper dragon. The monstrous paper ball was blasted to bits, exploding into smaller paper balls. Trembling, they struggled to escape back into the box. The sacrificed paper dragons were reduced to swirling shreds of paper, and a silence pervaded. Peace and tranquility were restored once again to the attic. Daniel saw the remaining 2 paper dragons lying on the floor, badly wounded. He rushed to grab some stickers and treated them at once. Suddenly, countless paper dragons began to gush from the box. The 2 wounded paper dragons were repaired and began to fly. Like 2 colored threads, they merged with the other dragons, flying in unison. The dragons moved like a tide, flying freely through the attic. Daniel eagerly took out his penny whistle. He showed all his paper dragon friends the results of his hard work and practice.
Now, I gotta fail one more time. Oh, pretty. The score on the final one, you get it right, is 1780. Isn't that the SCP number? I feel like it is.
In the sweet melody of his playing, Daniel felt himself enter into the world of dragons.
Definitely a unique art style.
paper dragons merged into a long letter and floated down towards Daniel to tell their story.
After the last war, the fantasy world enjoyed a long spell of peace and stability. But now, the giants have returned. They have launched ferocious attacks, trying to invade your world through the room. We are prepared to launch the final defense. Then we will have to destroy your room, for it is the last remaining entryway into your world. Please believe this farewell will only be temporary. We will not be apart forever, and we will never forget our eternal mission of protecting you.
At that moment, the paper dragons flew back into the box. Daniel still couldn't fully understand what the paper dragons had meant, but he had a vague feeling in his heart that he may never see his new friends again. A few days later, Daniel's chickenpox had fully recovered. He could now play the penny whistle very, very well. But the paper dragons never returned.
Bye-bye, dragons.
Maybe it was time to leave and move on.
Earthquake warning! Magnitude 6.2! A massive earthquake is hitting our town! All townspeople, please leave your houses immediately and move to safe open spaces!
Just then, countless paper dragons shot from the cardboard box. However, it seemed like they were under attack, spinning and falling through the air in confusion.
What's happening?
Daniel quickly grabbed the stickers out from his bag and did his best to heal the injured paper dragons.
Do not give up, soldiers! Keep fighting! Must defend the motherland.
But the paper balls swarmed
Story is
together
nice,
and
yes.
pushed Daniel away, subduing him firmly in the corner. He couldn't move. Suddenly, ominous clouds rose from the box, and a violent lightning flashed through the room. The figure of a giant slowly emerged from the thick clouds, and the entire attic became overwhelmed with its evil aura.
The earthquake is growing stronger, now with a magnitude of 7.1! Heaven almighty, are we doomed?
Just okay, calm down, guy.
The giant unleashed its power maniacally. The paper dragon struggled against it, with no means of fighting back. At this critical moment, two paper dragons shined brilliant. Together, they heroically crashed their bodies into the giant. Daniel thought the giant had been defeated by the paper dragons, but soon he found that things would probably not be so simple. The giant's figure could still be seen in the thick smoke, looking evil and terrible. The attacks of the paper dragons had had no effect, and the giant had only grown stronger. It fought back with a new ferocity. The paper dragons were simply no match for it.
The earthquake is growing stronger still! The greatest disaster this town has seen in over 100 years! My heavens! Will this nightmare ever end?
My heavens.
With the paper dragons now all but defeated, Daniel spotted a frail figure in the distance. It was Penny. It flew gently in front of Daniel and affectionately rubbed its head against his fingers, as if this whole crisis had never happened. Daniel felt like Penny was trying to tell him something, but he didn't quite understand what. Penny then left Daniel and soared into the air with a determination in its wings. Suddenly, the other paper dragons seemed to be summoned. They flew through the air, all together in unison, responding to the call without an ounce of hesitation. At that moment, Penny turned into a great red beam and rushed fast towards the giant. The other dragons followed, shining together like a shooting star. At that moment, Daniel seemed to see a real dragon flying.
No!
A huge explosion from the impact drowned out everything else in the attic. The attic rained down with countless pieces of paper, the leftover scraps of the paper dragons. Daniel wanted to collect all of the pieces. He thought he could still fix them.
It'll be okay, guys. Or it won't be, actually, but... yeah.
Goodbye, my friend.
The nightmare is over. The earthquake has stopped. With God's mercy, our town is safe. We thank you, Lord, for your protection.
A few days later, the art festival was held as scheduled. Daniel attended the show with his penny whistle.
Are you gonna shame me one more time?
And now,
Oh,
Daniel
Lord.
will perform a penny whistle solo of a song titled Fly With Me.
Now perform in front of all your peers. Can't wait to destroy this. Alright. Gosh darn it.
And that's how the story ends. Now, you might be wondering, what happened next? Are there still paper dragons in the world? Well, that's a difficult question to answer. But I believe that they are still protecting us somewhere in this world, just like they promised they would, forever, into eternity.
How dare they put this SCP in here? Gosh darn it. Oh, it's so sad, chat. It's so sad. Maybe you guys don't get it. I, at one point, read the original entry. So, it's a very, very sad SCP. Oh. Was his performance not adequate? Or was his performance adequate to not shame his family for 9 generations? You may rely on it. At least I didn't shame my family for 9 generations. There was a couple times I pressed that space bar, it didn't register. I don't know why. But at least I didn't screw it so that the music was completely ruined, because if you screw it up too much, it does start to fade away. I thought they might not do that one justice. I think they did pretty good. Because the idea is that I think the story is a little different than what they showed there for the SCP entry, although it's not too far off, to my understanding. Is that the belief in fantasy and heroes and stuff like that is what gives life to this SCP. And since that's kind of fallen apart with time, modernization, and all that, the SCP kind of self-neutralized. That was my understanding. It's been a while since I've read it, but I definitely recommend checking it out. SCP-1762, I believe it was. Here Be Dragons. Here Be Dragons is its colloquial name. You can find it under that name too. So, it's not fair to put that in the middle and then expect me to do things while trying not to cry. It's not fair. Let's see. What's the time? I should probably figure out what I'm doing with food before I continue. I wanted to do Fragmented Minds. I don't think I'll have time. This game is long. I think we're only like halfway through it. Christ. Granted, I am taking my time, like searching for secrets, reading through the entries that the game gives you. Let's see. Dragon Soar. What a lovely paper dragons. I love them so much. Awesome. But where are they being contained now? SCP-1762 is now being contained at Reliquary Research Institute, where Dr. Daniel is supervising director. That cardboard box has remained silent. How do you know all this, Gent? I thought you didn't attend the monthly lecture. Oh, now we're going to make fun of this bastard. Under the direction of Dr. Trevor, Gent spent 2 years researching SCP-1762, so he knows far more than we do. Wow. He's going to get us killed. Hey, I told you all that particular SCP didn't suit me. Oh, come on, Gent. But really, imagine you tidying up piles and piles of cute little fairy books. It's kind of adorable. Enough already, I'm getting back to work. But I'm going to stress the point again. That particular SCP did not suit me. Okay. We'll pretend you didn't cry. I have been here for a month now, and I'm entirely adjusted to the job. Though the content of my work is to simply process archive files, it is work that will never bore me. A few absurd jokes aside, most of the archives are really rather fascinating. I've been having hallucinations lately. I feel like someone is calling me, a voice low and uncertain. They seem to be trying to communicate with me, but I cannot understand a single word they say. In fact, I had planned on seeing a doctor, but Zoe told me it was the typical rookie syndrome and would clear up in a few days. Get noms for real this time? Yes. This is the time to get noms, everybody. This is the time to get your noms. Certainly hope that is the case. Yeah. Yeah.